Can I ever do a quick video? Well, we're about to fucking find out, aren't we? So today I just took off the Holosun EPS right here. It's the 6 MOA EPS Carry, actually. And I put on the 507K Vulcan. And why did I do that? Well, we'll get that into a minute. So to show you really quickly, um, when I did put that one on there, you're not going to be able to really tell from here. Let's see if I can do it back to back. You're probably not going to be able to tell, so I'll just tell you that the EPS carry is a little wider than the 507K. The deck height, which you're not going to be able to tell on here. Let me use my 48 that I has that's still on there. So here we go. The deck height on the EPS carry is shorter. It's not as tall, not as thick as on the 507K. So you get a better co-witness with that. That's also because I have a CNH plate on here, which is a little bit thicker than the one that comes with the EPS carry when you buy it. When you see that plate that's on there, how thin it is, that is made out of aluminum. So it's a high quality plate. I had it on my 43X and on my Glock. It's what was on here right there. And the 48. It is a very, very thin plate. Fits like a glove, a tight glove. Like OJ Simpson, I guess, when he's got to cram that glove onto his hand or whatever. That's what you want is a tight fit. So when you put the optic on here, it even just put it in on there dry, it just has no slack. You got to kind of tamp it down in there. It fits very tight. So if you want to have on your MOS 48 or 43X EPS Gary, don't buy another plate for it because it comes with a really good one. It's going to fit on there really great. I still got to get around to why I put this on there. So, reason why I put this on there. First off, let's do a couple other things. I know it's not really supposed to be part of the video, but why do I carry a 43 over a 43X? Well, I'll show you right here. So you can see, this one is not going to print near as much as a 43X. Difference being, 43X has 10 rounds plus one in the chamber, whereas this, with the mag guts that I do have inside here, holds 7 rounds, which will be 8 with one inside the chamber. But I also like to carry, did I put the ammo back in there? Well, I guess I'm not going to go to because it's back there behind me. The +2 mag guts, which comes with a little thicker plate, and it's going to, that way it holds 8 rounds, so 9 with one in the chamber, and it's going to not print near as much as this. Also, I like the handle shape of the 43 better. Just my preference. I have a broken hand right here from a long while back. And so my finger tends to curl back up, especially when I bend it. When I hold it flat, it kind of fits on there okay. But as I bend it, it won't get in there. So on most handguns, if I put my fingers on there, there's a gap. That's with me squeezing it. I don't know how well you can see it in there, but there is a gap. It doesn't want to go totally on there. It kind of bends. This is made for the Glock 43 or for the Glock 26. Fits on that perfectly. So just show this little baby real quick right there. Why not? There we go. Ooh, I love that gun. So I go back and forth from carrying that and carrying my Glock 43. Why did I put that ACSS in there? I still haven't got to that yet, have I? So I'll tell you why. So yeah, if you would say, oh, well, that's not giving up many rounds to get to this, right? Because this one only has 10, or this one's going to hold 8. So 9 with one in the chamber, 11 within the chamber. But that's not true. It's still going to have a lot less rounds because if you put the shield arms inside there, right here, which still fits flush, you're going to hold 15 rounds, which will be 16 with one in the chamber. Or if you do this little doohickey right there, with one in the chamber, there's 21 shots right there. And I've never had a problem with that. There's a short that shows you what all's on this. Get the RAM tactical trigger right here. RAM tactical trigger. The back over here. But to get back to this, as I've got a cough coming on. Why did I go with the ACSS? I'll tell you why. Because I have had this on there. And when I'm practicing and when I'm just drawing, practicing dry firing and draw inside the house that I'm at or wherever I am, and I do practice it every day, multiple times a day, especially when my wife's not here because it kind of drives her crazy to me doing that. Especially when I'm pulling the trigger and I'm racking the slide and everything like that. But I do, I practice it constantly. I guess it's just one of my, some people like to throw yo-yo, right? Back in the day before we had all this stuff. I like to dry fire my guns and practice drawing all the time. And so I'm so comfortable doing that. And when I pull it out, I'm going to see the dot. It's just intuitive. Muscle memory sets in and does that. So then why would I be going to this? Which is not going to show it to you on there correctly. If you were here, maybe you already know what the ACSS is. This has that outer ring, which shows you if you pull and your dot's not on target, you'll be able to figure out where it is really quickly. Now, what's coming through on the video is not what's really seen here. If I'm looking right here, that circle is so big and wide that when I've got the dot on there, even with the dot moving around, I still don't see the outer rim, that circle right there, which I think is like 54 MOA. I don't know what it is on there. Don't hold me to that. You can Google and find out quickly yourself. So you'd have to be kind of off a decent amount. And if you're off, even though this is making it look smaller on the video here, if you're off, it'll let you know where to get the dot on there. So why did I put this onto my carry gun of choice? Why have I gone to that? Well, I'm going to also get the ACSS, the 507C is what's going to go on this baby right here, my Glock 23. Right now, I just have you can already see. Let's see. SCS is on here. And you can read the pros and cons of why people have them on there, and they'll say, people like to laugh at it just like they would laugh at laser on people's guns. I'll kind of hold this one up here while I'm talking about it. Um, People like to laugh at that. Oh man, you're really crappy if you have to have that on there. Well, that's a good beginner tool. Well, I'll tell you the reason why I want to have it on there. It's because if some situation hits, I want to be totally prepared. I don't know if I might be in some weird position in my car, or you can't really predict what's going to happen when shit hits the fan or something's going down. The adrenaline's going to hit you. You'll be finding your dot right away. I think the odds are I will find the dot, but I ain't taking a fucking chance. So I'll give myself a little couple notes on here as to why. So in life, I've been in some situations where you see people panicking. Look, with cops, you see the statistics when they get into gunfights, even up close, they're missing like fucking crazy, right? And bad guys especially, everybody's missing. So I mean, look at when they went after those Boston bombers and were shooting those guys. The guy that was the instructor, the Boston or the city next to it, he was the trainer, the instructor of shooting. He emptied his Glock. I think he had a Glock 22, emptied his Glock at pretty close range and misses every fucking shot. Okay, or I don't know. He missed with enough of them. He didn't take that dude down. So many situations that happens. So why do I have this on here? Because you cannot predict what's going to happen when something's going fucking crazy, and it doesn't fucking hurt to have that in there. So I mean, if you got it right on there, you're just going to see the dot anyways. It doesn't hurt to have that. Yes, it's going to burn your battery down a little faster being like that, but this thing does have shake awake on it. So when you're not using it, you're conserving your battery anyways. So the examples that I'll use, okay? All right. So in my life, normally I've been pretty calm in certain situations when I feel like I'm in my element. Maybe you got a beer or two in you or whatever like that. And I've been pretty calm. People that I've like in my youth when I would get into fights with them. There was some times when I was scared and I'd be shaking or whatever like this. And then other times, no, I was calm and I would see the other guy shaking or whatever. Um, I don't even know why I throw that all into here real quick. I'm just saying, you don't know what's going to happen when shit hits the fan. People don't fucking know. And you dry fire and practice and stuff, it's not going to be the same. The adrenaline, what's going on. If something hits you just out of nowhere, what the fuck is going on? So, of course, inside the house by my bedside, I've got my right now is my Glock 19 that I've had milled, and it used to be the Glock 45, but I swapped slides around, blah blah blah, kind of like on this right here. I've got a huge Holosun comp on. It's not gonna have a problem finding the dot. And you got this big old huge window sitting on there. This is a concealed carry gun. So I'm not going to have a huge competition, especially on a Glock 43 right there. So I'm just saying, taking chances. I want to make sure that whatever situation, when I'm focusing on my target, and I put that on there, that I got that dot on their fucking ass. Preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. Or I don't even know how that saying goes. What have I got written on here? Blah, 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 blah. Yep, there's a big difference in practice versus, oh, fuck, and shit hitting the fucking fan. A lot of you people out there, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So I would say the people that I know, most friends I have are known, they've never really been in a fucking fight in their life. Well, guess what? I've never been in a gunfight in my life. Have you been in a gunfight in your life? So I think it's going to be a lot different. So I guess if you know you're a competition shooter, maybe you don't need that or whatever. But when shit hits the fucking fan, it's kind of like Wild Bill Hickok. Or he could trick shoot, and so when he was like with the Annie Oakley circus or Wild Bill Hickok circus, with Annie Oakley was in it until I guess he died, and then it was the Annie Oakley show or whatever. He could shoot from the hip and hit a coin in the air, do all this stuff. And whenever he was in a gunfight, he would take his time and he would aim right down the fucking barrel. They didn't use two hands back then. Take his time aiming to hit the motherfuckers. There was a big difference in playing around and doing all that shit and when it's fucking life or death right there. So I decided, you know what? I ain't got nothing to prove. I ain't taking a fucking chance. So I put that on here. And I'm going to put one because this is fucking fixing to take over my Glock 19 eventually. So I'm not even started a single round through this yet. I just got it. It's my last video right there. And I just put the ACSS because I have a couple of them. I got a backup. You know, one is already as on my 26 right here. Got myself a backup. And it kind of looks weird on there anyways because the Gen 5 Glock 23, the slide's thicker. So, I don't know, some people might think that's cool. Looks pretty small. I'm going to have the Holosun 507C ACSS is what's going to end up on there. I'm going to have a special plate on there. That's to be, that'll be a video eventually sometime. So what all do I have on this baby now as far as we go? It does have an Apex trigger, bar, and connector, and a Gunco shoe from the get-go. I never bought the complete kit. On eBay, I found the connector really cheap. And then I bought the trigger bar from the Apex site, I believe was the best deal I could find, was buying it flat on there. Everything else would be stock. It has to have a go hug grip. The G plate right here, which I also have. On my Glock 26 right there, have the G plates. I like the G plates. My fingers fit in there nice and tight, and that holds it in there even tighter right there. So I like the G plates. Um, that's about it. Rare glow sights, which are really not doing anything because this thing has barely got like a 1/8 co-witness now because it's sitting up a little higher because the 507K sits up higher. The deck's taller than it is on the EPS Carry. And in the plate that's on there, the C&H precision plate is a slight bit thicker. But hey, this is good to go as is. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have the Lingen Tactical Striker Control Device. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Striker Control Device. Just use the acronym of that. I do have that on there. And that's it. Everything else, stock on this baby. Y'all have a great day, evening, or whatever time it may be.